Midfield back deep enough. We'll see Joby Harper and Bryce Walsh there. What a matchup that's going to be.
City Park Radio Sport, we thank our sponsors, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows Telstra stores. Here's Barry Triffett.
With Lauderdale heading to the town end in the opening quarter, and it's Ryan Smith doing battle against Hamish Liebman, with the field umpires being Harris, Bridges and Guy. And we're underway, and the ball's on centre wing on the far side of the ground. First use of the ball to the Launceston player, who kicks in towards half forward. Breaks to ground level. Could have been a free kick. In fact, it will be a free kick to the Lauderdale player across half back, and Sam Burge will be the recipient of the first free of the day. Elects to go wide onto the roadside wing, looking for a teammate out there, and I've not seen Lauderdale for a long time, so it'll take a little while. I think that was Sutton to pick them up. He kicks towards the half forward line. The big ruckman Smith's at the base of the pack. Ball comes out. A hurried attempt there to try and boot the ball. Quick hands over the top there by Sutton. It goes in towards their half forward line, but it's the defence of Terrell through Launceston, who kicks out of defence towards centre wing on the far side of the ground. Going in there is Bristow. He can't find the handle on the ball. There's a big pack forming, and all of a sudden Joby Harper just shrugs three players off and steps out and kicks a mongrel old punt in towards half forward, and his coach is right on the end of it there in Mitch Thorpe as he slides on all fours. He's just outside 50. He elects to play on and eludes the player, chips around, then kicks deep in towards the forward pocket, and there'll be a Launceston mark over there, and it's Timmy Bistro who's marked right in front of the players' race when they run out. He's chipped a short pass back into Thorpe, and Thorpe now within 30 metres of the goal, marks for the second time in 30 seconds, and will have a deliberate shot for goal going to the Bass Strait end of Windsor Park. The Garner end.
Good sign for the Blues early.
And they used the ball beautifully then. Thorpe chipped it across to Bistro. He then ran into the space at half forward, inside the 50-metre semicircle, where he was outside when he kicked it to him, and now he's marked and will have the first deliberate shot for goal. Can he put the first one on the board for the Blues? He's very deliberate, taking plenty of time. I reckon his 30 seconds is up well and truly. As he comes in now, he jabs it and he fists the air as soon as it left the boot. He knows it's the first major for the Blues. One straight goal, and it's been kicked by Mitch Thorpe, and we've only played about 90 seconds into the opening quarter.
Yeah, well, Lauderdale at the moment are just probably looking like they've just got off the buses. They've got up the highway. They're just a little bit flat-footed, and they're just letting Launceston with those uncontested marks chip the ball around, and it's been one way so far, Dave Moore.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes gone, Macca. That's big guns in that midfield like Harper and Bristow are going to be the big key to today's game.
My question is, and I said before, do they bat deep enough? Dunellen will do a really good job, but come that third and fourth quarter, do they have the legs to run through there? AFL teams now tend to run 10 or a dozen players through the midfield throughout a night or a day.
Smith and Leedham come down to Dunellen. Bell Chambers working hard. He picks it up, tackled by Dunellen. Two tough nuts there. The one factor, Macca, is that Lauderdale and Glenorchy played last week in a big game, and Blues have had the week off. So that could be a little thing in the Blues' favour today, a bit fresher. Smith now out here to Burge, couple of possessions early. We talked about some of these new players, Lauderdale, as the day goes on. Picked up now, and the handball there by Saunders. Dunellen kicks towards the wing. Foot race on. Picking it up first there is McManus. Not a great left foot kick, but it might come off all right. And there's Bell Chambers, back to McManus, the two veterans there. Now the Blues take it. Handle over the top to Paul Freeman, who's dispossessed, taken by Karen Muir. This way, that away, on the left foot. Swings it towards goal. Chance here, little handball, comes out to Bryce Walsh, fumbles at the crucial moment. Taken away by Bristow. Goes right, then turns to his left. Kick to advantage here of Tyrrell. Second possession, Ryan Tyrrell. Kicks up the wing here looking for Killerlee. Can't quite take the mark. Wish Wilson in close attendance. Handball out now to Paul Freeman. And Killerlee's caught, gets a little handball away. Not penalised, says the umpire. Killerlee back on it again. Handball by Leedham, smothered beautifully by McManus. Goes through the centre of Windsor Park. Kicks to half forward, not a great kick. Clean bowls Wiggins, Vandervelde's there. He's tackled by Wiggins in the follow-up. Releases. Now out to Burge, third possession. That's going to go over the boundary line, is it? No, it's still in play. Jacob Boyd releases the ball. Out now to Smith. Smith kicked close to the boundary line. It's too close. It's out of bounds on the far side.
You mentioned the recruit there, Sam Burge, Dave, 22-year-old from the Queanbeyan Football Club, the Queanbeyan Tigers, who play in the Canberra League. So very competitive league up there. He's made his way down to Lauderdale, and he's started today's game well.
5 minutes into the opening quarter, and the chip back in goes to Matt Elliott. Too far out to score. Lauderdale player going to the town end. Chips out a little bit wider. He's got support out there right on the boundary, 80 metres from goal. The kick in towards half forward, but the big ruckman for the Blues in Leedham just drops back into the hole and marks safely on the checks. Kicks it out wide towards the back plank towards Holt. Can he keep it in? He's been tackled beautifully. The umpire allows him, but he didn't have prior possession. The ball goes to ground. Players are pounding on top of one another right on the half-back line for the Blues.
That tackle was by Nick Baker, Baz. So Nick Baker was a Tassie Mariner and this year a Devils player. Nearly drafted last year, but he's been in pretty ordinary form for the Devil under-18s this year as an overage player. So he's come back to the TSL, try and get a bit of form. And I think we'll see him back in the under-18 Devils pretty soon.
We'll keep an eye on his performance today. Started off pretty well with that tackle. Leedham in there doing battle against Smith. Goes to nobody in particular. In fact, Leedham does the follow-up work and goes to handball to a player but puts it out of bounds. There'll be a throw-in. We're still on that half-back line. The Blues defending. Lauderdale kicking to the town end in this opening quarter. Right in front of their change area. A lot of the reserves players sitting out there basking in the sun, actually. Watching the first few minutes of this. The first term is taken away here this time by Kieran Yu, and he kicks in towards half forward for Lauderdale. Bounces off the chest down there of Casey Brown. Across the line, there'll be a throw-in right on the 50-metre semicircle. Lauderdale going to that Launceston town end under beautiful conditions. Not a breath of wind here at Windsor Park. We've had 4 or 5 beautiful Saturdays in succession. Ball goes to ground level. Taken away there by Baker. He's been set upon. I think there's a free kick, and it just goes the way of Launceston. And it was Seymour who got it across to a teammate who chipped in towards Thorpe. Thorpe's on centre wing, a long way from downtown, but Denellen kicks the ball with the left boot towards half forward. Ball goes to ground, taken away there by Killerley. Lauderdale with the numbers at the 4 on the ball. Quick handball to backwards. Has found a Lauderdale player who kicks towards the broadcasting side of the ground. The target was Nick Baker, but it's just a little bit too wide for him, and it goes out of bounds. There'll be a throw-in right in front of the broadcasting position.
I love the fact, Baz, that Mitch Thorpe's willing to lead up at the footy. He took that one, high half forward, which in previous seasons we've seen him sit pretty deep. So good start, Mitch Thorpe.
Well, Leedham gets the tap down towards Joby Harder, who spent it before he had it, but somehow or another it bounced back to him, and with the right boot now he kicks deep inside 50. Opportunity for the Launceston Thorpe as he runs onto it now off the top of the pack. He sockers it with the left boot. Taken away with the Lauder defender there in Trupp. Gets it on to a teammate who's been set upon, and the Launceston player and the Lauderdale player both have a bit of purchase on the ball. The umpire will bounce it down about 20 metres around from the attacking goal that Launceston are heading to in the first quarter, that being the Bass straight end.
Denellen tries to break through, taken here by Jeremiah Perkins, the boy from Sorrel. Close to the boundary line. And nearly over. It's over now.
That fast ball movement from Launceston from half back. I'm looking there at someone like Jake Smith was giving away about half a foot to Sam Siggins. But one thing it does do for Launceston being undersized, it means that they can move the ball quicker and not rely on the tools.
Well, I saw Smith named at centre half forward, and that's pretty much where he is at the moment. As now Fletcher Seymour having a great season, gets off to Harper. Little kick to Franklin though, intercepting. Now to Edward Trupp. Trupp goes wide here looking for Matt Elliott, boy from Smithton. Mac will have something to say about him as the day goes on. Boy from WFL. As now Smith takes it, handballs backwards to Conway. Conway, little chip, finds a teammate in Poultryman. He darts off, kicks inside 50. One-on-one Killerley front position. Rich Wilson too small. Falls to Perkins. He's tackled. Now to Alec Wright. Has he got an option? He has. Blackberry, welcome back to the TSL.
Oh, get around there.
Joel Blackberry. First goal. Second goal for Launceston. 2 goals straight, 12. Lauderdale 1 goal straight, 6. And what a fantastic return to the Tasmanian State League, Macca.
Yeah, he's just all class, isn't he, on that left foot, and spending 12 months out of the game. It's tough for someone like Jay, who's been so successful over the years, not only here at Launceston but also at South Launceston and the Storm. But starting on a wing at the moment, Blackberry.
Good work by Alec Wright too,
Yeah,
to make sure the ball was held in, and got it out to Blackberry with wonderful skills.
Very flat-footed at the moment. They're still Lauderdale, aren't they? They're just a tad behind.
And they just seem to be lacking the system they're probably looking for at the moment. Umpire's very deliberate about making sure that he's not going to be set upon, letting players know that he's going to back out towards the road side of the ground, puts it to turf. Smith taps it straight to his opposing ruckman, and he gets it out to Blackberry, and he kicks it with the right boot this time. Pinpoints a pass beautifully in here to Miller, who marks 70 metres from goal for the Blues. Kicks it deep towards the top of the goal square, looking for Thorpe. Could have been interfered with too high. Ball brings to ground level though. It's taken by Taylor, who snaps to the right boot. It goes across the face and just manages to go in for a minor score, that being the first one for the Blues. They're 2 goals, 1-13. Lauderdale are yet to score, and we've played 10 minutes in to the opening term here at Windsor Park. Live descriptions on City Park Radio, 96.5 and 103.7. This State League fixture under perfect conditions as it's taken by Trupp, and he kicks it about 80 metres out of defence. The ball's been dropped out there by Elliott, goes to ground level, but a quick handball over the top. But the Launceston players have the pace at the back of the pack. The quick chip inside comes to Tyson Miller, and he marks about 75 metres from goal. Looks for a teammate out there in Gillow. The ball bounces awkwardly for him, but he's got a little bit of support. Launceston player out there was right. He handballs back to Miller. Miller with the left boot deep into the forward pocket there, just slightly off target and through for another minor score. The Blues are doing all the attacking and all the peppering at the goals at the moment. They're 2 goals, 2-14. Lauderdale are yet to score, and it's almost 11 minutes into the opening term.
Get us those inside 50s for Dave Gruber there, please, Foz.
2-0.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 5-4.
5-4, right. So Lauderdale have been in, just haven't been able to do it.
Yep.
Here's Elliott.
He gets the handball away, and now on the wing is the ball. Saunders, he's a likely type. Kicks from Lake's entrance as he gets the handball away. Kick down the line. It's Mark, kicked inside 50 by Walsh. Chance there for Ben McGuinness. Clears him, close to the goal line there. Oh, it's kicked off the ground.
McGuinness.
Ben McGuinness. How did Launceston muck that up? There was about 3 of them around the ball. They just had to force it through for a behind.
Just ran over the footy, I think, the young Launceston defender, Dave.
So coast-to-coast stuff there from the kick-out from Trupp. It ended up with Ben McGuinness kicking it off the ground. Macca, tell us a little bit, Matt Elliott, you're a bit of a follower of the NWFL.
Yeah, look, the Circular Head Giants, former Smithton Football Club. He's won a Baldock medal down there. He's coached the club. Of course, the Circular Head Giants went into recess this year, but he's very well respected down that way. Him and his partner have made the move south. So
I read somewhere where he's, the freedom of not having to coach is sometimes a liberating thing for a player.
Yeah, definitely. No, he's very highly rated in that NWFL competition. And what's he done? He's kicked 8 goals this year for Lauderdale and got a couple of best players. So a very handy acquisition for Darren Winter and the Lauderdale crew.
Well, Lederman with a tap down, ends up with Seymour, kicks it out towards the broadcasting side on centre wing. Ball bounces awkwardly, ends up with Sutton, gets the handball out quickly there to Burge. He gets it onto his teammate there in McManus, who kicks it with the left boot. He was looking for his teammate down there in Ryan Wiggins, but it was too wide for him. In fact, it's just touched the line, was almost out in the full, so there'll be a throw in just outside the 50-metre semicircle. Lauderdale change area right there, and still a lot of the reserves players watching on, but their tops off in beautiful sunny conditions. It's thrown in, and Smith grabs it out of the ruck. Could have been penalised, but the umpire says, no, you had plenty of opportunity to get rid of it. The big fella butters up and does his own work again. Then he gets it off to a teammate in Baker, who kicks it inside 50. It's about 30 metres out now and comes off the top of the pack from Lauderdale, and that was Smith. He just grabbed it and put a big torpedo into it, got it in the Holt direction. He's out there with Anderton. Anderton and Holt both go to ground, and I think the umpire will be forced to bounce this down because there's been a good tackle applied out there. The ball didn't come out from that tackle, and over in front of the interchange area on the far side of the ground there'll be a bounce down.
It's one of those intriguing matchups too, boys, Anderton and Holt. So Anderton, once again, another Mariner, played Devils last week in the under-18s, but had a few injuries and just sort of struggled to get up to the speed of the under-18 comp.
Chain of handballs ends up with Josh McGuinness. Over the top now to Bryce Walsh. She's got support. Here they go once again through Josh McGuinness, kicking it forward to his brother there. He might have had a handful of shirt there from Conway. Comes over to Saunders, little kick. Doesn't go the regulation. Wiggins, left foot, tackled. Should have been penalised perhaps. Maybe got a toe to it. Handball comes out of Blackberry up the ground to Miller Hodge. And he looks for Taylor, but he's worried off the contest. Now it's Siggins, handball to Walsh. They're starting to get on top here, Lauderdale. Walsh inside 50, Vanderbilt does well. Takes a diving mark, no, he grasped it, said the umpire has to play on. And he kicks it straight back to Josh McGuinness. He plays on also. Up here for Ben McGuinness. He got up high, play on. Not penalised, Gilby, kick smothered. That would have been mark of the year as Harper takes it, he's worried off his kick. Gets as far as Jake Smith though, lucks a fortune. Gets over the top to Seymour. Seymour wins himself a little bit of space. Stops, props, kicks to the wing nicely to Thorpe, who presents, takes the mark on centre wing.
What a lovely kick that was too. Beautifully weighted to Thorpe, who's moving well downfield like Macca suggested earlier on. He kicks directly across the ground looking for Smith. Could be a free kick, I think, that Smith had purchased on that ball before it was tapped away from him. And now he's been awarded the free kick. It was Franklin who tapped it, and that's hardly travelled 15 metres. But it is a Launceston ball in midfield. The handball off to Thorpe, who's really prominent early. Kicks in the right direction. It's off the top of the pack. Lauderdale players at the back. There's about 10 of them. It ends up with Perkins. He handballs onto a teammate, and the kick out of defence is terrible. It's gone to Fletcher Seymour, who breaks the tackle from 35 metres out. Kicks for goal. I think it's just been touched on the line and through for a minor score. Yeah, 2 goals, 3-15 Launceston. Lauderdale a 1 straight goal, and we've played just 15 and a half minutes of the opening term. Now, Edward Trupp, he kicked it about 70 metres from full back last time because they can just run on and play on now, and he takes his 15 metres and then kicks it deliberately towards the half back line. Beautiful weighted kick, and it ends up with Sam Burge over there in front of the Launceston change rooms. He kicks towards the interchange area on the far side of the ground, and Matt Elliott swoops it and then handballs to the big fella in Smith. He's been set upon by 2 Launceston Blues, must have dropped the ball. The umpire says play on for some reason, and Smith ends up with it again, gets it onto where Vandervelde chips in. Seymour has got it again. He's had a lot of kicks in the opening bit, but this kick's a shocker. It goes to McManus. McManus straightens up and kicks in towards half forward, and a lovely mark's been marked by the Lauderdale player there in Ben McGuinness. And of course the McGuinness boys, one playing down forward and one down back at the moment. And
and one will play for the Tassie Devils down Hobart this afternoon. Just that Fletcher Seymour, he should have kicked the goal at this end. It come off his boot paw, and then he's cost his side a shot at goal this end. So this is something he's got to tidy up. Fletcher Seymour hasn't played a real lot of football, obviously concentrating on his cricket.
Ben McGuinness will kick right on 50 with the left boot. I think he's got the length. It's right on the line. It's been touched. It's been thumped back into play, in fact, toward the boundary line. It'll go out of bounds right alongside of the behind post, and there'll be a throw in. Launceston Blues going to the town end, the 2 goals, 3-15. Lauderdale 1 straight goal, 17 minutes opening term. Here's Dave Moore for City Park Radio.
Mackie, you got something?
I just think Ben McGuinness on Ethan Conway, it's going to have to maybe something the Launceston coaching staff look at. It's just a little bit agile for Ethan at the moment.
Almost took a big mark before. As now Bell Chambers gets through traffic, gets around another one. This could be goal of the day. What a great goal, Phil Bell Chambers. He weaved his way through about 3 Launceston defenders, found some space, and from the angle has slotted it through. Great experience there from the Lauderdale player, Phil Bell Chambers. That's their second, 2 goals straight, 12. And they're trailing Launceston still 2-3-15. One of those underrated players, Bill Chambers, McManus, Sutton, that old firm there, Macca. They're still quality players and still doing good things for Lauderdale.
Yeah, they will. Look, I think when Mitch Thorpe watched that one on the tape, he was a little bit disappointed with the defensive setup at Launceston. He just shouldn't have been able to get through there.
Yeah, knife through butter type situation.
But you're right. They've just got that core squad, don't they, Lauderdale? And through Darren Winter and co. And they've added some good players. Edward Trupp, you've called a couple of times.
Yep.
South Australian via the Darwin Buffaloes, only 21 years.
Originally, yep.
Only via the Darwin Buffaloes, only 21 years of age. He's got the blonde locks, and he's a good recruit as well. So we've already mentioned, Trupp, Elliott and Burge in from their last year's team, and then all of a sudden you throw Sam Siggins, who's returned to the club. They've got a really good core mix, don't they, the Lauderdale Bombers?
And here's another one, Saunders from Gippsland, played TAC Cup. There's a push in the back here to go the way of Bell Chambers once again. He'll hand off now to Bryce Walsh. He's had a bad run with injuries in recent seasons. He kicks forward, finds Elliott, who presents. With the long sleeves, he's easy to pick today, Matt Elliott.
Here he goes again.
There he goes, short, and it's on the chest of Ben McGuinness.
Yeah, he's just too quick and too agile for Ethan Conway. Maybe someone like an Alec Wright or something.
Yeah.
We've seen him play as a defender. He's a bit more agile. Alec Wright, he's playing as a forward at the moment. I think they've definitely got to make a move, otherwise McGuinness might kick a bag.
Of course, Alec Wright started as a 16-year-old in the Lonnie defence 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, and look, and he's had the experience. He's actually played alongside McGuinness in the Tassie Mariners back in the TAC Cup side.
So Ben McGuinness, tough angle this one. He's about 35 out, 10 metres in from the boundary. Left foot shot for goals. One's across the face. In fact, it might miss everything it is. It's out of bounds on the full. We've been playing 19 and a half minutes. 2-3-15 Launceston, 2 goals straight. Lauderdale. You listen to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5 is Barry Triffett.
And the first 8 or 9 minutes was all the Blues, and since that time it's been Lauderdale. They've really picked up the game, and Bryce Walsh, no, it's not Bryce Walsh, it's Jeremiah Perkins who's marked it, and he just chips a little weighted pass into Reece Sutton, who's marked just outside 50, chips over the top to McGuinness again, and he's too strong and takes a nice mark right on 50. Barely travelled the 15 metres, but there's the right foot kick in towards the top of the goal square, and it just trickles through over the back. In fact, that was Gilby, I think, that marked that ball.
Yeah, he's had his hair cut, Jake Gilby.
Yeah.
Quarter time at the Collingwood St Kilda game. Chris A wanted me to keep him updated. It's St Kilda 139 trailing Collingwood at 3-1-19.
Okay.
Well, the chip in for Launceston has been marked. There's a poor kick out of defence. And over on the outer side, the Lauderdale player was marked right on 50.
Is that Bill Chambers, Mac?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yep.
Got Macca to put the
Goggles up.
goggles up. So Bell Chambers it is. And he's going to have a deliberate shot from goal. Very kickable over there in that forward pocket. He'll kick.
It's not even Bell Chambers, so we'll try and get a spot on for you, Baz.
Might be Wiggins. No,
Anyway.
it's McManus.
It's Manus, Robbie McManus. He swapped wings.
There he goes. And he's had the kick, and it won't quite make the distance. It comes off the top of the pack and through for a minor score. So Lauderdale doing all this tacking in the last 10 minutes at 2-2-14. There's just 1 point the difference because Launceston 2-3-15.
Clearances inside 50s for me, Dave.
Yep, we've got inside 50s at the moment. Lauderdale 12-6.
Yeah, I thought so.
That now. Clearances pretty even, 7-5 Launceston's way.
And Launceston out of defence there with Tim Bistro. Initially started, ends up with it, and there's a free kick going back behind play. And it's Fletcher Seymour that will have the free kick.
Miller Hodge, sorry. That's
Miller Hodge back there behind. So, Dave, you can take him over.
Hodge leans back on the kick, kicks up towards the wing. Taken there by Siggins, who's been reasonably quiet so far, to Walsh, who's had a bit of it. Leham all the way now to Saunders. He looks a player, Saunders, and he gets on that left foot, kicks inside 50, almost another mark to Ben McGuinness. Falls to the ground awkwardly. Now with Peter Burge, or Sam Burge, sorry. He lets fly for goal, but ends up in the lap there of Boyd. Might have been touched. He plays on quickly. Gets it to Miller Hodge once again. Out here looking for Palfreyman on the half-back flank. He marks in front of Anderton. Palfreyman.
This is where they've got to turn and go, but they've just been held up here by Lauderdale. So early on they were able to flow from half-back. Lauderdale have shut them down with some pretty good zoning off the footy.
High kick and a nice mark, Casey Brown. He confidently plays on. Nice low kick, looking for Seymour. Will take it without breaking stride. Seymour over the top to Thorpe. Will mark about 10 metres out, pretty much directly in front. And Macca caught it. That's the footy the Blues have got to play. Got to take some risks. And positive movement there from Casey Brown. And he's looking a few kilos heavier, Macca. Heavier set than I remember him.
Yeah, good heavier. Yeah, definitely. He's put a lot of work in over the pre-season, Casey. Good speed. One of the better runners back in his school days in the athletics. This is the fourth mark, Mitch Thorpe.
Mitch Thorpe right in front, shouldn't miss. And he doesn't. That's his second goal. Blues extend their lead. 3-3-21. Lauderdale 2-2-14. So they've weathered that storm, Macca, and they've been under pressure for the last 10 minutes. And they get it down the other end, they get a goal.
Well, look, they're inside 50s and goals, and shots on goal have been really good today. Just that fast play. They went slow to start with Palfreyman, but well done, Casey Brown, as you said. He was able to take off, use his speed, and it was a good hit up to Fletcher Seymour, who kicked the ball a lot nicer that time, found Mitch Thorpe for his fourth mark and second goal of the day.
And we've played, what is that, Dave? 23 and a half minutes into the opening term here at Windsor Park. It's been a good clash so far. There's the Blues for 10 minutes, then Lauderdale for 10 minutes, and then the Blues have just settled by kicking another one and opening up a 7-point lead. The ball's still in centre field, taken away out there by Franklin. It's been set upon, and the umpire said he had no prior opportunity. We'll throw it up again, still in centre square. Beautiful sunny conditions at Windsor Park. Leadham in there pushes his way in front. It's a nullified tap down. Launceston player took possession, but he also had two Lauderdale players hanging off him. Ball's gone to ground, so the umpire will be forced to bounce it up again. And it was Jack Denellen was the player on the base when he got up off the bottom of the pack. Ruckman Smith gets it, and Denellen takes it, smothered off the boot. Another tackle's been applied, thrown to the ground, and the umpire said, "You had no prior opportunity either." So there'll be another throw up still in the centre of the ground. So there's been 3 packs formed, plus the start after that goal. That's the 4th throw up, and the ball's moved about 5 metres. Try to be taking out of the pack there now. Now it's been kicked off the ground there by Harper. At least it's got out of that square now towards half forward. Quick hands go back to Harper. His handball to Profferman was behind him. Taken away here by Walsh. He's set upon as well, and he's been tackled far too high, so he'll get a free kick on half back for Lauderdale. Launceston a 3-3-21, Lauderdale 2-2-14, and the kick comes sideways out towards Anderton. He handballs over the top there now to his running teammate in Edward Trupp. Out of defence, and he kicks towards the centre wing on the broadcasting side of the ground. Almost a nice mark down there to Elliott, but it's been punched away from him. Ball goes to ground level. There's Launceston players down there, and Miller Hodge under quite a deal of pressure just scrubs the kick out of defence. It trickles across the boundary line right on centre wing. There'll be a throw in.
Well done to young Jack Tuthill there. He's got a big job one-on-one against the former AFL Gold Coast son in Jacob Gilby. So Tuthill, big job for the youngster.
From the throw in, it's Leadham who gets the tap, but to nobody in particular. Ends up there with Franklin, and the umpire says you've been tackled too high. It's a couple of free kicks he's had in the opening quarter. Gets it in towards Saunders there in midfield. Didn't really want it, just tried to get the free kick. It wasn't given to him by the umpire though. Ends up with Wright. Wright gives a shocking handball. Lauderdale butter up again to turn the handballs. Ends up with Josh McGuinness. He kicks it out of defence towards half forward. It comes off the top of the pack. Over the back there is Sutton. Weaves, turns, twists, puts himself back onto the right boot. Chips it inboard. And there's been a mark there to Ryan Wiggins. 40 metres from goal, directly in front. Well, Lauderdale was under the pump, but they held possession. They made space. And Ryan Wiggins ends up with a deliberate shot at goal as we go into red time in the first quarter here at Windsor Park. Launceston playing Lauderdale. Been a very exciting clash so far. Been no more than 7 points in the game from the outset. And Ryan Wiggins trying to close that back to just the 1-9 to score. The siren sounds, in fact, to finish the final quarter. His kick is pinpoint perfect, straight through the big opening. And Lauderdale will move along to 3-20. There's a 1 point margin at quarter time. Launceston a 3-3-21. So the goal kickers for Launceston in that opening term. Mitch Thorpe kicked 2 and Jay Blackberry on his return kick 1. Singles to Lauderdale. Ryan Wiggins that one right on the siren. Phil Bellchambers and Ben McGuinness have kicked the other 2 for